那另外呢，金秋10月马上就要过去了啊。另外有一个不知道大家有没有注意到的一个小现象，就是每年到了这个时候都是一个跳槽的小高峰。最近呢，我们的 Starcy 有幸采访到了 RMG 罗麦国际的 CEO Robert Parkinson 先生，他呢将就一个目前职场上出现的新的动向做一个细致的讲解。比如说近日财富在这个智通人才网上发起了关于职场回头马的调查，有300多名网友参加。近一半的人表示自己曾经有过回头马的经历，或者呢有过回头马的意向。同时呢，还有30%多的企业 HR 愿意向回头马抛出橄榄枝，希望呢他能够回归老东家。这是一个让人很琢磨不透的一个现象啊。那在这个过程当中，员工需要注意什么？企业如何建立好的制度，找回最合适的人呢？我们今天呢会让我们罗麦国际的Robertson 先生跟大家一起来交流一下，解一下这个职场的新的风向标。我们刚才说过了啊，那10月啊，每年都是一个跳槽的一个小高峰。那么最近呢，我们的 Starcy 采访到了罗麦国际的 CEO Robert Parkinson 先生。那么他今天呢，将会要和我们来介绍一下，在跳槽或者是好马吃回头草的过程当中，员工需要注意什么，企业又应该做些什么。
My name is Robert Parkinson. I'm the founder and the CEO of RMG Selection. RMG is a recruitment business that covers the whole of mainland China. We are active in Beijing, Shanghai, Tianjin. We're also active in Hong Kong and Singapore, and we have a small representative office in London. But our main focus is China, and our values are hard work for the client, teamwork, which is essential, and fun. It's very, very important. And also training and development.
I think some differences of your company is you're also doing some research on the current career field, the job market. So do you sort of have a D&R team in your company?
Yeah, we do. I mean, we keep in constant contact with the employment market in China. And we believe very strongly in providing a high quality service to our clients. That's got to be based on high quality information. So, for example, Sophie and her team, she looks at collecting and gathering business intelligence on the employment market, on salary levels, on trends and developments in the marketplace, on why people are leaving or why people are staying with companies. That's an interesting question. People think it's all about money, and it really isn't. It's about leadership and teamwork and employees bonding together, that kind of thing. We do take a great interest in that side of the market, and I think China is a unique market in that respect, because the economy has grown so quickly.
One thing I noticed very interesting is some people do return to their old employees right now. So why do you think they make the decision? Because, in general understanding, people will think that going back will be some kind of embarrassing thing to do.
It's an interesting subject, actually, and it's got a couple of different points. In more mature markets, in Europe, say, or the US, companies will have very specific policies on this, and some companies will have a policy that is to never rehire older staff. I think in the Chinese market, because it's so competitive for good, truly talented people, often when people do return to their previous employers, it can be a positive thing. It's not always positive, because it might be the result of failure elsewhere, but it can be somebody being honest, realising, hey, I've made the wrong decision, and the company that takes them back is being humble in a sense in embracing them to come back. Because you know how they say in China, when people leave, you're firing the boss. Well, in a sense, the boss is being kind of humble in having people back. I think it generally is positive. It's okay to put your hand up and say, people have made a mistake here. And you see, the reason that people leave their jobs for 99% of the time is not money or where the office is, whether it's a grade 1 building or not, or any of that nonsense. It's they don't get on with their manager. And the reason they don't get on with their manager is often based on a miscommunication, that escalates and grows into a much bigger problem. To cut a long story short, yes, it is healthy. People come back most of the time. I remember myself in the last company I was running, shortly after I came to China, we had one of the star performers, Vivian, left to go and work for another company. She probably didn't like my management style. And then she came back 6 months later, realised that this was a better place for her to work. And that girl, Vivian, she was the number one performer in the whole business. You know, she grew to be an absolute superstar. There are positive examples and there are questionable examples, but I think on balance, yes, absolutely, it's good for the employee, it's good for the employer to say something's gone wrong, come back. I'm talking about, you know, the sales director who gets 10 times better results than his competitor. I'm talking about the superstar marketing manager. I'm talking about the superstar US qualified lawyer who outbills everyone else. I think for those people, it is a trend that's increasing. People are more open, people are more commercial. Yeah, ultimately China is a very commercial place. And if it makes commercial sense to do that, people will come back.
My question is, are people not afraid about unemployed? They can use this time to take a trip or maybe some professional training?
Yeah, right, that's it. I think people are keen on professional training. In my view, is to give advice, if you like, to people. Training and development, it's more a habit, it's more a mindset, it's more an attitude rather than something you actually do. And in a sense, we should all be training and learning and developing throughout our whole careers and lives even. That's what keeps us going and keeps us motivated, is to keep learning and train. You know, one of the reasons I love my job is every single day I've worked in the staffing and recruiting business, I go home and I write in my journal what I've learned today. Every single day it's something new. In my career I've seen people who are doing white collar office based jobs take really different paths. For example, there was a company I knew of where the human resources manager, she was studying part-time to be a dentist in the evening at the weekend. And
in China?
In China, yeah, absolutely. I'm astounded just how diligent Chinese people are, actually.
I think right now people will actually take time off from work and focus on their training. For example, in the legal field, I think it's a common thing that, you know, you work for a couple of years and then maybe you want to take, in America, LLM degree for 1 year and then find another job. But in other fields, I think also this is happening right now. They're not scared about, you know, I don't have income for 1 year or two, but I really want to learn something new, or after this, I would think I can get something back.
If you just go and sit on a beach for a year in Australia or Thailand, that does not look great on your CV. But actually, going to do, for example, humanitarian aid work, going to help people in Africa or Myanmar, or going to do a challenge, going to do a different form of education, I think is very highly valued in employers. And, you know, for example here, you know, when I'm interviewing people as we hire people really starting with about 2 years experience. When I'm interviewing those sorts of people, I'm looking very carefully at what they've done. And actually what I don't want is someone who's gone straight from high school to university and has gone to a job and then now they're in their second job. I want someone who's done 20 internships. I want someone who's got varied experience. I want someone who's worked in a restaurant in London or a bar in Australia, because you learn about life. You learn about people skills. You put things into perspective. Perspective is really important for self-management and managing a career. It's also, people choose to take mid-career breaks, and I have friends of mine I've got a friend who's a barrister in London who's taking a year off to go on an expedition to the Antarctic on a boat because he's interested in wildlife and birds and and seals and whatever you do in the Antarctic. I think that's generally a good thing to do, and I think employers respect people who maintain a good sense of work-life balance. Well, at least they should. I'm not sure if everyone respects that.
So you mean that companies are now won't just focus on your education background or how many years you can stay in your previous employer, but also look at how broad your view can be based on your experience, not just work experience, but also experience about your personal training and personal lifestyle.
Absolutely, because it all goes in. It's like making a cake. These are ingredients. And if you've got someone who's just done the same thing for the last 20 years, they might be very good at doing one thing, but that doesn't make them a valuable employee, because things change. We're in a world, particularly in China, where things change very, very, very rapidly. And what companies will need to hire more and more is to forget so much about where people have gone to university or what people have done, but to focus on who they are as people.
Could you give more advice to the talents who are looking for jobs or career advisors? What should they put more attention on their resume? How can they prepare themselves to stand out in this international market right now?
Number one, do not lie on your resume. I have friends of mine who've said that over 60% of their CVs they've seen in China have got gross misrepresentations of the truth on there. And starting off an employment relationship with someone where there's a grey area or there's doubt is a really bad idea. The second thing is make sure your resume is bilingual, English and Chinese. It shouldn't be too long, shouldn't be too short. 2 pages is usually enough. Maybe for people over 33 pages would be required. You want to have your basic contact information, age is important, educational qualifications, professional training at the top, and then in reverse order. So you start with your last job, then the one before that, then the one before that. They need to know what you did, i.e. what your tasks were, what your responsibilities were, and you want to be as specific as possible. That's the advice I would give. Make it look good. Make it presentationally good.
All right.
So, spot on. Then.
Yeah, if you want to find a new job or if you want to go back to your old boss, there are these things that you need to pay attention to.
You can do it. I think writing cover letters is also very important.